I am so you know what? Every time um like when I have an idea of what I want to talk about and like how I want to go about with the new episode like I'm trying to film, like I just like anyway, things happen that makes me have the idea. I'm like, oh okay, this thing like is going on in my head. Let me yap it away on camera. Like I write down the whole idea, things I want to talk about so I don't forget them, blah blah blah. I write it down on a note. Sometimes if I have conversation with like friends before filming, I probably like will have conversation like, oh, what do you think about this? Da 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 everything. Like sometimes actually even look forward to filming. But when the day of the filming comes, I'll probably postpone it till the next day. When the next day will come, which was what I did. I was supposed to film this yesterday. I was like, oh, I'll film it tomorrow after gym and every other things I need to do. Like getting ready. I love getting ready. I love dressing up. I love like all those routines, all those process. I love it. But the moment I sit down and the phone is facing me, I just start getting shy and I'm like, okay. Like there's just this voice in my head that like, okay, you're doing too much, like you're sharing too much information, like who send me message, hello, mention, like I'm just like, oh, you're talking too much. Like I feel so shy and so exposed and whatnot. But anyway, we are here, the camera is on, so I might as well yap away. So this episode is going to be called Love Actually. So I'm just going to be talking about like literally like everything that has to do with love. Like I mean, for me, love as like friendship, relationship, yourself, like my definition when I think love and like to me, like I don't know how to explain it. I'm a lover girl. Like to know me is to know that I'm obsessed with love and I love love. And it's not just about the romantic aspect of love. Like I love everything love. Like I love my friends, I love my life, I love myself, I love my family. Even the ones I don't love, like there's still tiny bit of love in it. Like get like I feel like we need more love in the world. I feel like we could try more to love one another. Like I just love love. Like I know it's not perfect. Like it's can never be possible, and we don't live in the perfect world. But in my head, my happy place is where everyone loves one another. There's not necessarily like, yeah, you can't like I don't necessarily need to love you or like you or hate you or whatever, but you don't exist in my world. So obviously like you don't matter. But the people that exist in my world, my small world, I love them. Like that's my happy place. Like in my happy place, there are people. Like I just want every like you can't love everyone, but in your own world, the world you're creating, make sure it's filled of people you genuinely love. Like yeah, I think that make more sense because it's it's impossible to say you're going to love everybody. Trust me, there's so many people I don't like. There's so many people I can't stand. There's so many people I don't even care about their existing. Like, but then it's like you don't matter to me. I know in my word, but just yeah, just try. Like when you're creating your community, your world, whatever family you're building, whatever you're building, just try and make sure there's just this little love. Like let there be love. Like it's a beautiful thing. But anyway, let's just get into it. Yeah, this episode 8. Thank you for working with me. Like yeah, last night I was actually going through my YouTube channel. I'm like, oh, I've started this since last year because there was one video that it was saying a year ago. I'm like, wow, I tried. I can't believe I'm this consistent. Like I'm not really consistent, but at the same time I'm consistent. Like yeah, so yeah, you to me a year in. But yeah, so anyway, I wrote down everything that I really want to touch and I divided them. But yeah, so okay, I'm just gonna I don't know that's the first thing on the list. I'm just gonna go straight to it and just say it. But yeah, when we're talking about love, actually, I mean, like obviously, I feel like even when you ask most people like love, the first thing that pops to the head is the romantic aspect of the love part. But me, what makes me even like I've always loved love. I've always been obsessed with love. Da, da, da. I don't know because I read so much. I watch a lot of romantic movie or whatnot. But anyway, I love that part of me. But at some point, like, well, there was one time like I was just being just overthinking and just trying to be safe because I'm actually like a very self-aware person. So just thinking and just sometimes I just sit down and just like analyze my life, like just overthink sometimes to the positive, sometimes to the negative, and sometimes I try to bring myself from the negative back to the positive. But sometimes I just sat down, like I was actually just thinking about my love life, but not in a, oh, I'm sorry, I need to be looking if this mic is on. But yeah, I just sat down and like I was thinking about my love life, but not in a negative aspect of, oh, I'm lonely and all those, like, but in a more like, okay, what's actually the definition of love to me? Like, what do I think about love, especially when it comes to the romantic aspect of love? Like, I was just thinking, then I thought back and everything, and and I realized something like 31 years of my life, I've actually never been in a serious relationship. Like, I've never been in a relationship, and when I say that, does not mean like, oh, I've not dated people or I wasn't seeing people, blah blah blah, whatever. But me, another thing about me is if we don't have that conversation, or you don't ask me, you're my girlfriend, you're my boyfriend, or like, will you be my boyfriend, will you be my girlfriend, whatever we have going on, it's not really, it's like literally to me, it's not a relationship. If it's not up to 3 months, still not a relationship. If we did not divide and define it, even if the, like we are dating, we are cutting, and we are like getting to know each other to the purpose of that. But if we never defined it before we went our separate way, it's not a relationship to me as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, so that's the realization of, oh, okay, I've actually genuinely not been in a relationship in my life. And then I realized there's some things you go through when you're young, or there's some situation you find yourself, or you like whatever, like when you're young. But then when you grow up, you have like more understanding of things of life. You've seen things like you've, you sometimes when you're feeling emotion, like in that moment, you can't see clearly. You're feeling whatever you're feeling. Then years later or 2 years later, there's clarity. Like, you know what? It's like you could actually say, you know what, this person hurts me, but at the same time, you could be accountability and like take account of what, like your own role. Like, okay, this and that, but not to like victim blame in a way, but just like, oh, because I feel like when it comes to interpersonal relationship with other people, like there's always going to be your story, my story, how you see it, how I see it. But at some point, like in that feeling, when we are feeling whatever we are feeling, obviously I'm not going to be seeing it the way you are seeing it. I'm only going to be seeing it the way I'm seeing it. But 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, you might actually think back or try to like, okay, just thinking about your life. Okay, who am I? Da 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 da. This impacts the kind of person I am, the energy I'm giving. Da 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 da. Like, you're just trying to find yourself, because at the end of the day, I feel like every one of us is just trying to find ourselves. Then you realize that you can see some, like you get to have like a different views of things, and you realize, okay, you know what, this, like you see things clearly. So looking back, like my notebook, yeah, looking back, like if I looked at the whatever, like people I've dealt with, situation I've found myself, situation like I was actually genuinely even happy to be at that point of time, and like things like that, and like looking back, like with the matured mind I have now, like I've experienced. I mean, like I'm 31, so obviously I've experienced life. I've had like understanding of life. I've experienced loss, death. I've like my thinking changed. Like as long as we are living, as long as we are alive, our thinking will forever keep changing, and will forever keep learning new things and new views, new opinion. Like we just keep evolving. That's, you can't fight it. So you have a way of thinking. So when I look back, I'm like, okay, that was actually not like a relationship. Like, okay, I shouldn't have been in this situation. Why was I in this? Like you just ask yourself, like you just genuinely just ask yourself like honest question, like that hard question. I mean, I used to, not even like I used to say, I don't know how to say this proverb, but there's this saying of that you, but I used to say that like even if you are deceiving others, at some point it's going to remain just you. You can't deceive yourself. Like you could deceive others for long, but you genuinely can't deceive yourself. Like because you will always be alone at some point, and your thoughts will come rushing. Like you just have to be honest with yourself. Like okay, this is not it. This is not what I thought it was, or it's like it seems it was, like everything. But anyway, that's the whole thinking that made me come to the conclusion that I've actually genuinely not been in a relationship. I mean, like I feel like that's a good step, because even like where we go from there, like I don't know, but it's not like, oh okay, but the experience I've had had made me know myself much better because now I could look back, I could be like, okay, this decision with this person, I genuinely wasn't happy, but I was still there. Like, why was I still there? Like, you ask yourself those kind of tough questions, or you be like, oh, okay, this decision with this person, okay, these are the things they do that I like, these are the things they do that I don't like, these are the things I do that they like, these are the things I do that they don't like. It just, I feel like no matter the relationship you find yourself, even in friendship, work relationship, like whatever relationship you find yourself, we all it's an opportunity to learn more about ourselves and at the same time like about the person. But then I've always believed like relationships like teaches both way. As much as you're learning about the other party, you're also learning about yourself. Like so that's the good part about the whole like because like I said, just because I've never been in a serious relationship because doesn't mean like I wasn't dating. I was dating. I was like getting to know people. I was like so, and those things just made me realize, oh, okay, these are the things I look forward in a partner. These are the things I like. These are the things I can compromise on. These are the things I can't compromise on because I know myself and I know in the long run it's not going to make me happy. Like this like it just make you learn so much about yourself. So that I have and that's actually even led to me even loving myself more. So yeah, like okay, literally that was even the second thing I wrote down. But yeah, like I said, I ended like the first topic with like it makes me love myself more. And literally in the second line was saying self love. Like so yeah, like when I think about love actually, like to me it's about self love. And I've always like I said, like when like you're in a relationship with people, you're learning more about yourself and you're learning more about them because you're learning more about yourself in their like in their eyes and like with their view of you and the view of you and obviously one thing I've also noticed, like there are people who will try to tell you who you are, who will want you to be, who they think you are. So that's where self love comes to play. Like you have to genuine, and that's where asking yourself honest question, like try to be on, like even if you're not honest with anybody else, yourself. Always try to be honest with yourself because I feel like the moment you stop being honest with yourself, you've lost the plot. Like you've just lost it. I feel like the right way to self love, the right way to having like a healthy, genuine relationship with anyone, the right way to living your life to the fullest, the right way to being genuinely happy is you being honest with yourself. Ask yourself the tough question, like be your own therapy. Literally, wake up, be in the mirror, think deeply. Like always ask yourself why. Always try to ask myself why. Like half of the time I don't always like get the right answer that I want to get. Half of the time I overthink myself to sadness. But I always try to like motivate myself back to the positive aspect, but always ask myself why. When I react to something, I always ask like maybe not literally like when the situation is happy because when the situation is happening, because we all have bad days, we're all woman, no one is perfect, blah 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 blah. Everyone knows that. But yeah, like maybe if I've done something that I've reacted to someone or I've lost my cool or whatever, when I get home later, maybe 2 days later, like actually genuinely ask myself, okay, why did I do that? Or maybe if I'm already feeling like a negative emotions towards someone, let's say maybe I can't stand someone, or like for no reason, I can't like when I say like someone particular tweet, like I squeeze my face, or like just for no reason, I'm already acting like a hater. Like I always generally ask myself question, why this like I don't know this person, why they bringing this type of strong emotion from me. Like I just always try to because I feel like when you ask yourself why, and when you can and you're honest with yourself and like you don't necessarily even need to have the conversation with anybody else. You could always have the conversation with yourself. And if you can afford therapy, it's fine. You could always have the conversation with them. But if you can like all just that's why like one thing I always think is I feel like I'll get to a point in my old age and I'm going to be talking to I mean like even right now I talk to myself but mostly I try not to talk when I'm outside. But when I'm in my house or sometimes even when I'm in the midst of people, I say something, my friends be like, "Hey, look at yourself again." I'm like, "Hey, I'm sorry." I'm like, so yeah, just have like honest conversation with yourself. Always ask yourself why am I reacting this way? Why am I doing this? Like, why do I love this? Does this genuinely make me happy? Am I doing this because I like it, or I'm trying to please people. Like, but just always ask yourself just always ask yourself the honest question, the hard question. Be honest with yourself. The hard question, yeah. Be honest with yourself, and try to, as much as it's like, yeah, like, I kind of put this like, as much as like you're being strong, because I used to say one thing, like, there's nobody that criticize me more than I criticize myself, or nobody is tougher than me more than like that I'm tough on myself. But as much as like I do hold that on, I'm like, oh, okay, like, as much as like when I say that, okay, I'm already picking myself apart so much, I try to like build myself up again. I'm like, okay, but no one is like, you just give yourself that encouragement. No one is perfect. Da, 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 da. Try to put in the work. Try to make amend, or try to like, for okay, I use the example, if I'm saying like someone's tweet and like they're bringing out a strong emotion that I can't stand. The first thing, I'll just block you. Like, I don't like, I block you and I mute you. Like, okay, if your presence is bringing, it has nothing to do with you. Like, I know obviously it's my issue. I need to work on it, but in the meantime, I don't need to be seeing your tweet. In the meantime, I don't like, you get like, just always try, like, when you get the real answer, always put in the work, always try, because I feel like self-love is, to me, love actually is just self-love. Because if you don't love yourself, you can't even be like, I feel like if you don't even love yourself, you can't love others. Like, you can't genuinely love others if you don't love yourself enough. You can't genuinely love others. And self love will always and always save you from a lot of bullshit. I mean, like, obviously you could even still end up finding yourself in a, like, in a bullshit, in a situation that you are not happy or whatever. But it's the self love that you have for yourself that's going to bring you out of that situation. That's what's going to push you. I know, you know what, obviously, like, I'll be hot, I'll deal with my emotions, blah 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 blah, but I'll always be fine. Is that self-love that is going to be ringing in your head, like, no matter what you go through, no matter what you go through, no matter the challenges, no matter whatever, what not of life, you will always be fine. So, like, yeah, so that's yeah, so that's also love actually for me. Accepting yourself as well, like, even before self-love, I feel like accepting yourself should be the second one. Like, you have to accept yourself, the good, the bad, the negative, the positive. No one is perfect. No one is going to have the whole 100. Like, as much as you are good, you have your good side, you only have your bad side. So you just have to accept everything. Like, you can't just love yourself when it's good. You have to love yourself as well when it's bad. Like, when you're making the wrong decision, or when you wake up one morning and you realize, oh my God, like I've made the wrong decision, or like I don't stand for what I truly believe, or whatever. Like, everyone wants, like, we all have that negative aspect of us that we don't like. You just have to love yourself through it, or like, okay, babe, you fuck up, like, you fucked up, that's not good. Or let's work on it. Like, how can we be better? How can we, like, you can, like, you just always have to accept yourself, the negative, the positive, just accept yourself. Because one thing this life will do is to tell you who they think you are. But the moment, or to try to even use who you think you are against you. But the moment you accept yourself, the moment you own up to your mistake, you own up to your experience, you own up to every bullshit things that you've gone through or that you've done in the past, or whatever, like, you forgiving yourself, you've accepted whatever. No one can use anything against you, because it's like, oh, okay, this is like, okay, yeah, I know, like, I'm this. I know that sometimes, like, I'm not proud of it. I don't like it, but yeah, I know that sometimes, like, I can be like, tricky. Like, I don't want to say something, like, but yeah, like, just accept yourself, and that's what's going to lead to self love. Because once you accept yourself, it's like, okay, like, you've accepted like, now, okay, I've been even talking about like characters and everything. It could even be as silly as like physical, or something that doesn't really matter. Like, growing up, I have like a weird fingernails. I don't know if it's like obvious, you can see. Growing up, I hated my fingernails. Like, I hated them. I was always insecure about them. Like, that's like literally, if me and you are fighting, that's like the easiest way to hurt me. Just say, you with your fat, like, I will be crying. I'll be so sad. Like, you won the battle. Just say, but as as I grew up in life and everything, I started accepting like almost, especially when it comes to like physical, but the things I know like I can't change, or even things I know that even if I can afford to change, like it's like okay, now I don't want to change it. Like I just said, I said like no, it before like I can't even move my hand when I'm talking. My hands is always like behind. Like I'm always so self conscious. My fingernails, like there were just so many negative thoughts regarding to it. But then I grew up and I realized like you know what, it is what it is. I might as well just love myself traits because one thing you're going to like one thing that life is going to teach you is time flies. Like it's crazy how time flies. I mean, I mentioned I can't even believe I've been doing this already for a year. Like yesterday, I just saw like a clip that said a year ago. I was like, really, a year ago? Like life will always teach you that time flies. What you don't want to do is spend half of your life not accepting who you are, hating yourself, or trying to be who you think you or like who other think you should be, or who you feel others are going to love, like you're not being authentic to yourself, like you're not like you're just not accepting it. You're just fighting, like just be yourself. Like there's so many I used to like there's this I tell people like I don't think there's anyone that can know myself more than myself. I know myself, like even whatever you think you notice about me, trust me, I know it. Or if people like if people say something like, oh yeah, this and this, and me, I like in my heart of heart, I know I'm not like that. I just look at you, say, no, that's not me. Or like I don't even bother trying to act like I'm like Maya, I know that's not me. Like you have your definition, that's your business. I have my definition of who I am. I've accepted myself for who I am. I love myself for who I am. Like what other things doesn't really but like I won't say like yeah, like I'll say bother, yeah, it doesn't really bother me or doesn't really matter. I mean, the ones I genuinely love, I'll believe for you to love me back or for me to even be loving you, we've gotten to a certain like level where we know each other, like where we could be like, okay, this is what this person can do, this is what this person cannot do. Do you get like yes, I know you can't know people finish. Like it's not possible because people change, people evolve. But I feel like there's some kind of intimacy or experience that you'll have experienced with some people in your life, or like at least to some level, you could say, okay, I know this person, and to that's like that same level, they could say, oh, okay, I know this person. Like I know what this person can do. I know what this person cannot do. I know what this person like. I know what this person does not like. So those are the ones that should like matters to you, and I mean, it should matter to you, but as long as you're even showing up as your authentic self in that relationship, it shouldn't even be an issue. Like we are showing up as your authentic self, and they're still like in the relationship with you, and you guys are still, like you should know, okay, like at least like I'm putting my right foot forward, like this is me, and they've accepted me for who I am, and this is them, and I've accepted them for who they are. So yeah, so accepting of oneself is very important. Self love is also very, 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 very important. And I feel like the accepting of oneself, it's what leads to self love. It's like, okay, I've accepted myself. I've like okay, the good, the negative, like okay, this is me. I know what I need to work on. I know where I should do better. Like I know you get like you just have that conversation, you accept it, says like okay, that's where the self love come, and that's where you're putting in. And as much like once you even have the self love, it's easier to put in the work because you always want to better yourself. Like you always, it's like you're like an egg. The way you carry yourself is just different. When the way you carry yourself is just different when you genuinely and truly love yourself. It's like you don't want anything to hurt you. You don't like you're the love of your life. Like you don't want anything to hurt you. You take good care of yourself. Like you just put in the work. It's just easier for you to even put in the work because it's like, okay, I'm a vessel and I'm treating this vessel right. I'm loving myself. Like I need all these things to function. I need all these things to be who I can look in the mirror and just smile at. So yeah, once accepting of oneself is done, and you have self love. It's just easier to just put in the work to just keep bettering yourself and just yeah, that's it. Okay, yeah, I thought like love actually it's okay. I think like we are going with that vibe, but love actually like we're talking about like what love. Oh, I'm about to sneeze. Sorry about that, bless me. But yeah, we're talking about what love actually meant to me. But before we could get to like I've actually talked about accepting oneself, self love, yeah, self love and everything. But at the same time, before all this, there's some experiences I've experienced and some things that actually make me think. I'm trying to gather my thoughts together. Yeah, but anyways, I'm just gonna just keep. I don't want to just be running around circle. But yeah, like obviously you don't just wake up. I mean, like for me, because half of the thing I talk is about my experience and um what I've read or heard or seen and my opinions on situations and whatnot. But yeah, like also yeah, but one thing about us I feel like to other people it might be negative, but to me it's not necessarily negative because it has saved me a lot from so many shenanigans, like so many bad shenanigans. My stubbornness has saved me from, and that's actually one of the things that I actually love about myself. Mm, being stubborn. Like I mean, in some situation, it's like that's where the honest being honest with oneself comes in as well. There's some situations that I actually even used to like have to tell myself in my head, okay, calm down, calm down. You're like doing too much, blah, or whatnot. But there's so many shenanigans situations that my stubbornness have saved me from, like so many that I be like, it's the same way. Like I can't fight, but if I'm like in a situation that I have to defend myself, you best you better believe I'm going to defend myself with everything I have in my soul. Like you might later win, you might later kill me, you might later do, but just trust me. Like I'm not going to go down without a fight. Like that's just the stubbornness in me. Like it's like nah, I will stand. I'll stand up for myself. I will defend myself. Like whatever the result may be, whatever will happen at that moment, I just don't care. Like I'm just going to defend myself and like. But I mean, as you go, that's why I won't try my possible best not to even find myself in a situation that I'm maybe like in a situation I have to like be physical to like get into like a physical issues or whatever to like defend myself. But I try not to even get myself to the situation I have to even defend myself in the first place, if possible. But then there's some things I just can't help. But I always try my best not to look for anybody's trouble, stay out of trouble or whatnot, because I know how stubborn I am, and I know how stubborn I am, and I know how like I won't just walk away from certain things. So I try my possible best not to even find myself in a certain situation. Like, do you get like that's where once you know yourself, you know the things you can do and things you can't do. So you know how to move in the world. Like I feel like once you don't know yourself, you just keep running around like you're just everywhere. But once you know yourself and you know all the things I enjoy, the things I do, my kind of people, like you just move. Like there's a way you just move in the world once you know yourself. So yeah, that's where knowing yourself comes in play. Like I know myself enough that okay, I know myself well enough that I try my possible not to even find myself in like some certain situation or put myself in some certain situation. Or once I even start saying that, oh, okay, yeah, provoking like a certain emotions from me that I don't even like, or like you're just doing like I'm just like, okay, no, we didn't come we didn't come to these words together. Like, okay, that's it. This is the end of whatever we have going on. But yeah, so that's one negative thing. I don't think you can call it negative, but yeah, that's one thing that growing up, I don't like people always try to make it like it's a negative thing. Oh, you're too stubborn, you're too this, da, 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 da. But I grew up and I realized this one thing that people like to say that, oh, yeah, this, year that, yeah, actually really saved me from so many things, saved me from like attempted rape, like just saved me from so many. bad shenanigans that you can think of. Like it has really, really saved me. So that's okay. Emotional, physical abuse, verbal abuse, attempted rape. I think, yeah, like I've talked about all those things, and like my stubbornness have saved me from not having expectation. Actually, all these things I'm talking about, I'm actually talking about the things like I'm trying to touch about the things that I've experienced, that have made that formed my definition of love. Like I didn't just wake up. Like I've always had like different definition of love, or what I think love is, or what I think love should be, or what I thought love was for me. Like for different age. So I'm trying to like talk about the things I've gone through that have like changed that so change my opinion, change the way I saw love and what like love actually is to me. So yeah, so that's why I'm talking about. I mean, all these things was what I went through, and the self love ended it all. But yeah, so in case you're just wondering why am I all over the place, so we are just literally just trying to establish the things that made like that made love like what it says for me right now. So yeah, so we've talked about. I mean, I don't really want to go into the emotion, physical abuse, verbal abuse, attempted rape. Like those are the things I've actually gone through, and I don't want to get into it, but those are the things I've gone through. And as you grow, you realize like I look back. I mean, there's some situation that I look back like I'm like, okay, I do forgive people, but I don't forget. Like I will forever always remember. But it's like, oh, okay, I don't want to say it is what it is, but it's like, okay, I actually need to forgive you, like literally for my own sake, so like just to move on. Like, okay, it happens. I've learned from it. Like now is to move forward and just like just move forward. So yeah, just like move forward and take the lessons learned along with you. So yeah, some of these things, my stubbornness have also saved me from, but doesn't mean I still wasn't hot, or I still didn't feel what I felt, or there's still some situation like I could just wake up randomly, like even now, and think back, and I'll just get angry all over again. Like at most time, after the time when I get hungry, I get hungry at myself, and also I get hungry at the fact that I didn't react the way I wish I have reacted. Like like I just look back, I'm like, God, I wish this person like I wish this person is having a bad day wherever they are. There are even some people I can't even remember their name, their face. I can like nothing about them. That's how much like I've blocked the whole situation. Like but the experience itself, I can like vividly remember it, and I can remember how I felt. And every time I wake up and I just feel that feeling again, or like I can remember, and it feels like, oh, I'm back there again. I'm like, I don't like, obviously I don't even believe this some like when you wish people well, like it happens to them, blah blah blah, all those things. Like bad people are living good life, but as long as I wake up and I can't, like, that's my first thought. I don't care. I don't even care if you are living a good life or whatever. Like, I just wish you a bad day. Maybe it's come to pass. Maybe it won't come to pass. But I'm just happy, just putting it out in the universe that this person, I wish them a bad day. Let it just be out there that I said it. Like, I'm just happy, like, with that. So, and I don't even believe in all this whole like if you still have that feelings, or like you've not moved past it. No, we are women. Like yeah, you've moved past it, but you could still feel like what you felt. You could still be feeling how you are feeling. Like you're entitled to your feeling. You're entitled to your thoughts, and you're entitled like yeah. So yeah, that I don't want to get so much into it. But yeah, another thing, not having expectation, I think that comes in play when you don't really know yourself. I used to be that kind of person. I don't used to have expectation like from people that I love or claim they love me. Like it's like, okay, you didn't show up for me. It's like okay, doesn't matter. Like I like you. I will always still show up for you. I'll still try to my best to be my like good friend. Da, 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 da. I didn't, but then I think okay. Then I lost my dad. That was even actually like when I started realizing so many things, when I started like having honest and tough question with myself, then I lost my dad all of a sudden. Then I realized, then I started working in healthcare. Then I started like seeing so many people die. Like it's like I said, one thing life will always teach you is how time flies. Losing my dad just made me realize time. Like I mean, before then, even before you have children, you know that whole in your head you can say that, oh, time flies. Then you have your kids. Then I feel like you be in a different situation in your life. You keep saying, "Oh, time flies." Then you get into another situation. You realize how quickly and crazy how time flies. Like it's not like you don't know. It's not like you were not aware. The moment like your life keep revolving, you start realizing how crazy and how like in a blink of it, like or in the blink of an eye, everything just like it's gone. It's you're like, where did the time go? Like it was just like yesterday. Especially if you're someone that even have like a good imagination, it's run you mad if you are even trying to overthink it. You feel like what? So this thing that I'm just thinking about that feels like it happened yesterday happened 10 years ago. Like it's just crazy. But yeah, time flies. So like so I lost my dad, then I started asking myself so many honest questions and I started realizing, oh okay, why was I not even having an expectation? Because I've always been like a relationship is about give and take. Like, okay, you expect like if I'm showing up for you, I expect like I expect so much. Like, then I started like I wasn't loving myself enough. Like that, I think that's one of the issue. Like, I wasn't loving myself enough. So it was this. Oh, okay, okay. I don't even want to have so much expectation because I'm afraid of losing these people. Or like, it, it was just like an honest conversation I had to myself, and I said, you know what? Yeah, like I wasn't okay. Why am I not like voicing out my opinion, right? Like maybe something like someone did show up for me, like this made me feel bad, this made me angry, or like I was sad. Like why am I acting all cool about it? Like okay, yeah, doesn't matter if you can't come for this thing. It doesn't matter if you can't like, but you want me to drop everything just to be there for you. But you're not like you're not giving me what I'm giving you back. I'm like, oh, I'm cool. I'm like, then I started realizing like I was actually never really cool about it. I just wasn't being honest with myself. So I started like acting all cool and like, "Oh, no, no." Then the moment I started being honest with myself, even like like, I mean, I know to myself that my life started changing for the better. Like the people in my circle, the people I call my friends, the people that actually like are genuinely my friends, and I know that oh okay, they will show up for me as much as I'm showing up for them. Because life is just too short. And another question I was even asking myself there was like, okay, what kind of community am I building? Because whether we like it or not, we need our community. Like, and you have to build those community. Like you have to think about the future, especially if you want to have family. Okay, which what community am I bringing my kids into? What community is going to be there for my kids? So you have to think. You don't just want to fill it in with people that you can't count on, people that just take and take and take and take and take and take and take. That's where being honest with yourself also come and play. Like you ask yourself the honest question, you ask yourself your expectation. Oh, okay, and I feel like as much as you're even meeting up with expectation, like oh, if I'm demanding these things from you, I'm also confident that oh okay I can deliver it for myself and to you. Like okay, I'm showing up times 10, then I expect you at least match it with 5. Like even not the 10, but at least match it with 5. Not like you're just there and you're just taking and taking and taking and taking. It's like at some point you're going to run dry. It's not even does not necessarily have to even be financially, but emotionally, like whatever, as much as you're pouring to people, they should be able to pour back to you because we all do too. We all need people. Like as much as you're showing up for people, you need people to show up for you too. You need people to love up on you. You need people to care for you. Like we need community that don't just take but also give. So yeah, okay, the acceptance and going into yourself, love yourself, forgive yourself. Like, yeah, I always feel as like you're growing in life, I always feel like we end up growing into ourselves, especially if you're doing the work. If you are doing the work, if you are asking yourself the honest question, if you are being honest with yourself, if you are trying, like genuinely trying to know who you are and asking the tough question, like to yourself, the whys, the how, the when, like just asking yourself the tough question. I feel like you end up growing into yourself because I always have this feeling that we're like when we are born, like yeah, like so many things shapes us to be who we are. Then along the line we lose some. Along the line we unlearn, we learn. But I don't always believe like oh you found like you found yourself all of a sudden at 30. No, I always believe in this word grow into yourself. Like to me, I feel like you grow into yourself. Like your 30s, whoever you are, trust me, you are growing into yourself. You're not it's like when people be like, oh the bad side of someone is the real them. To me, I don't think so. It's like, oh, it's part of them. It's like the me in my 20 is still the same me in my 30. Like, I'm just revolving. I'm just going into myself more. In my late 30s, I'll probably, like, there's some things, like, I look like that are cool to me now. There's some things I have belief in, like, my late 30s. My belief will probably change. Like, oh, okay, no, no, this is it. It doesn't mean like, oh, I don't believe in it, or like, oh, when I'm in my 30s, I was like the fake me or the worst me. No, no, like I just like I always just believe in the way that you grow into yourself. Like you don't just find yourself, you grow into yourself. The the you in your teens, you're like whatever all this age as you mature, like they're still you, but you're just going into yourself. Even when you even look back, there's some things that you've probably forgotten about, like you've totally forgotten about that you used to enjoy doing when you were young. You realize you grew up as an adult, you started finding love for that same thing that you used to love as a child, but you just stopped for some reason. As an adult, you just started realize, oh, I used to like doing this, but now you still enjoy. You're doing like so. You're just going into yourself. You will always grow into yourself, and that's where the loving yourself, forgiving yourself, loving yourself, so to enable you to be able to grow more into yourself. And like as you're growing more into yourself, embrace yourself, accept yourself. Like we really have one life, we might as well make it magical. So yeah, so love actually for me is knowing, loving, forgiving, and accepting yourself. Working hard to be your best self, showing up even when you don't feel like it. Love actually for me is something magical and it's beautiful and it's wonderful and it can move mountain. And I feel like once you have this, it's actually easy to be able to experience other individual, like because you always show up as your authentic self, and it just makes everything flow. Like love is just beautiful. So you you were able to survive and you got to the ending of this. So please comment what love actually meant to you. Thank you so much. See you in the next episode.